අපේ ගමට ඔබත් ඉන්න.
රජරට අස්වද්දන ගොවි ජනතාවටත් ගම් මැද්දෙන් පිරිසිදු පානීය ජලය අනුරාධපුර කැබිති ගොල්ලෑව මහා කටුවර ගාලබැව ගම්මානයේ පවසනි වූ ගම් මැද්ද ජනතාව සමග ඉදිරියටම.
A very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News here on TV1, bringing you the news. I'm Mariam Dunujaya. We've got the latest stories from across the country and around the world. But first, here's a look at headlines for this afternoon.
IOC increases the price of fuel. Long queues of vehicles seen near Sipetco. Will the three-wheeler fares increase?
පළමු කිලෝමීටරය රුපියල් 80යි. දෙවෙනි කිලෝමීටර රුපියල් 45යි කිව්වේ. අපිට නම් මේ වෙලාවේ දෙවෙනි කිලෝමීටර රුපියල් 50යි කියලා කියන්න වෙනවා.
Price of wheat flour increased to a maximum price of 45 rupees. Air ticket prices increased by 27%. The unloading of 7,000 metric tons of gas commences. Litro Gas says the consignment will be distributed soon. Island-wide power outages to be imposed for 3 hours. Indian Prime Minister's BJP scores an impressive victory in state elections.
In your lead story this afternoon, Lanka IOC has increased the price of a litre of diesel by 75 rupees and petrol by 50 rupees with effect from midnight yesterday.
The new price of a litre of diesel is 214 rupees and the new price of a litre of petrol is 254 rupees. The price hike follows the rupee depreciation against the US dollar. The Lanka IOC said the decision was reached taking into account the rising oil and gas prices in the world market. Previously, Lanka IOC increased the prices of fuel on the 26th of last month.
Now, with the Lanka IOC increasing the prices of petrol and diesel, long queues of vehicles to purchase fuel were seen at Sipetco filling stations this morning.
Many filling stations in Anuradhapura were closed today. Due to this, long queues were seen near filling stations that were open. A filling station in Battapula was closed today and long queues were seen at another filling station. A similar situation was seen in the Badulla town. The filling station in the city only distributed petrol. Even though a Bowser carrying fuel arrived at the second mile post filling station in Puttalam, only the vehicles in the queue were issued fuel. A long queue of vehicles was seen at the Jayantipura filling station in Polonnaruwa. The amount of diesel brought to the filling station by a Bowser last night was not sufficient. Several filling stations in Vadua, Panadura were closed today. Only a Lanka IOC filling station issued diesel.
Meanwhile, three-wheeler drivers' trade unions point out that three-wheeler fares must be increased with the rise in fuel prices. As we proposed earlier, if we are to move forward while protecting the passengers, we must increase the fare for the first kilometer to 80 rupees. We have to name the price of the second kilometer as 50 rupees. In order to not further burden the passengers, the small guideline we would like to introduce is the fare for the first kilometer to be brought to 80 rupees and the second kilometer to 50 rupees.
පළමු කිලෝමීටර රුපියල් 80යි දෙවෙනි කිලෝමීටර රුපියල් 50යි කියන එක.
Now, with the continuous depreciation of the rupee against the US dollar, prices of many goods have increased. Prima Salon Private Limited has increased the prices of wheat flour as well. Now, Prima said that 1 kilogram of wheat flour was increased by the price between 35 rupees to 45 rupees. The Civil Aviation Authority said that air ticket prices have been increased by 27%. Chairman of the Civil Aviation Authority, Upul Dharmadasa, said the increase in airfares was due to the depreciation of the rupee against the US dollar. He said the decision was taken by the airlines with effect from midnight yesterday. The Sri Lankan rupee depreciated to 260 rupees against the US dollar yesterday. It previously stood at 203 rupees and 60 cents.
Against the backdrop of a milk powder shortage in the country, a long queue was seen opposite the milk powder store in Palavatta this morning.
මේ රටේ පාලකයන්ගේ වැරද්ද මේවා.
මේගොල්ලන් හරිනම් දාලා යන්න මිනිස්සුන්ට එන්නම ප්‍රශ්න.
Owners of restaurants and eateries have been severely affected owing to the gas shortage in the country. As a result of the issue, restaurants that serve tourists in Polonnaruwa have been affected.
ගෑස් ගන්න ගියාම ගෑස් නැහැ. ඒක ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඉතින් මේ දර දාලා පොල් කටු දාලා පොල් කොළ දාලා මේක උයන්ලා සංචාරකයන්ට දෙන්න පුළුවන් ආහාර වේලක් දෙන්න අමාරුයි.
අපි දර වලින් තමයි උයන්නේ. ඔබලා පේනවා ඇති දර ගොඩ ගහගෙන මේ ලිප් පත්තු කරගෙන උයනවා. සංචාරකයෝ මේ පැමිණෙන්නේ ටික වෙලාවකට ඇවිල්ලා යාලා ඉක්මනින් ඉල්ලනවා. අපිට ඒක දී ගන්න විදිහක් නැහැ දුන් ගහනවා.
A long queue was seen opposite a gas dealership in the Babula town. The people have been standing in the queue since 4 a.m. However, the owners of the dealership say that gas cylinders will not be delivered at least for the next 2 days.
ගෑස් නෑ ගෑස් ගන්නයි ගෑස් නෑ අද නිමාඩුත් දාලා ආවේ ගෑස් ගන්න.
දැන් හැමදාම මේ ඊයේ තයිලා රස්තේදලා ගියා අදක් ගියා. දවස් 5ක් වෙන කඩේ වහලා. මේම කිසි මොනවා වෙන්නේ කියලා හිතා ගන්න බෑ ඉතින් මොනවද.
People were seen standing in queues in Kurunegala since 3 this morning. Meanwhile, Litrogas said it has begun unloading gas from 2 ships carrying 7,000 metric tons of gas. Its chairman said the filling and distribution of gas will be carried out from this morning. The ships had been anchored off the coast of Handala for several days due to the non-payment. However, the chairman of Litrogas said the payment issues have now been resolved.
The Public Utilities Commission has granted permission to the Ceylon Electricity Board to impose power cuts today as well. Accordingly, groups A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K and L will experience power cuts for 2.5 hours between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. These groups will also experience a 1 hour and 15-minute power cut between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. today. The PUCSL added that the groups P, Q, R, S, T, U, V and W will experience a 1 hour power cut between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. today.
Meanwhile, former Janata Vimukti Peramana parliamentarian Sunil Handunnetti spoke about the economic situation in the country.
If the thieves from either party come into power, the outcome will be the same. The economy cannot be fixed. We will not be able to get out of the debt burden, the dollar crisis. This country cannot be fixed with corruption and waste. We must develop the production economy. We must involve the people in order to do so. However, the people will not join without an incentive. They need a benefit. We must provide them with an incentive in any way, be it even the salary. Today, a small number of people have overtaken this. They have taken control of everything. This must stop.
Speaking in Parliament today, the opposition faction demanded that Finance Minister make a statement regarding the prevailing economic situation in the country.
The parliament possesses the authority over finances. We looked into the whereabouts of the finance minister yesterday. He came in the afternoon. There is no point in him coming to parliament if he is not speaking. He must speak about the prevailing situation. There is no use of him coming without making a speech. The price of petrol has risen to 200 to 300 rupees. Mr. Speaker, you must tell him to speak of this problem immediately. Today the price of a litre of petrol and diesel has increased to 300 rupees. Even the camera doesn't show him. With the exchange rate increasing from 203 to 260 rupees within 2 days, it will have a massive impact on the economy. Moreover, the prices of essential goods are skyrocketing. Not just us. I think even the government faction MPs are wondering what is happening. Where will this end? This is the basic responsibility of the finance minister. I believe as a senior minister, Chamal Rajapaksa would agree with us. Mr. Speaker, the prime responsibility of the finance minister is to present facts to the parliament regarding the prevailing situation. We don't want his mere presence in parliament. As a responsible minister, he must present facts to the parliament. Just because 3 of his brothers are functioning as the president, prime minister and a minister, he cannot evade his responsibilities. That mentality can only be in their homes. Can the younger brother act irresponsibly if his elder brothers are senior officials? You cannot behave like that in parliament. Mr. Speaker, you must at least issue an order to the finance minister to make a statement to the parliament. Even you must be aware, when you return back to your electorate in Valigama, voters will come and ask you what's happening. What will you do? You will have to tell them that they must ask Basil that question.
සම්පූර්ණ විවාදයක් ඉල්ලන්න පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ. ඔබතුමා ඒකට නියෝගයක් ලබා දෙනවද? මට අමාත්‍යවරු නියෝග කරන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. මූල්‍ය බලය තියෙන මෙතන. ඔබතුමා විවාදයක් ඉල්ලන්න. සරත් වීරසේකර අමාත්‍යවරයා.
This house has the complete authority. If there's an article published regarding an incident involving the police somewhere, Minister Sarath Veerasekara makes a clarification to the parliament. When the media reported the garlic scam, Minister Bandul Gunawardena presented a report to parliament. He must clarify matters regarding the electricity outages, rise in prices and the fuel shortage. We allowed a debate for 5 hours yesterday regarding the fuel crisis. Fuel prices are fluctuating in many countries including the United States. It is the wealthiest nation in the world. There is an issue when it comes to the fuel prices. There is an issue in Russian fuel prices. If you have a need for a discussion, as the speaker mentioned, request a debate without beating around the bush. We will give you the debate.
සහන දැන්ටත් දෙනවනේ රුපියල් 5000 දෙන තවත් පුළුවන් තරම් දෙනවා. දැන් තෙල් වැඩි වුණා නේ. ඒ IOC එකේනේ අනිත් ඒවත් ඉතින් වැඩි කරයි සමහර විට. ලෝකෙම වැඩි වෙනවා. නමුත් ජනතාවට ගොඩාක් අමාරුයි තෙල් විතරක් නෙමෙයි මේකට මොකද්ද අපි ඉක්මනින් විසඳුමක් නැද්ද ඔබතුමාට? ඔය ඉතින් මේ එකක් යනකොට එකක් එනෝනේ මේ ආයි යුක්‍රේන් රුසියානු යුද්ධයත් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. සහන දෙන්න අපි සෑම උත්සාහයක්ම ගන්නවා. ජනතාවට ඔබතුමා ගැන විශ්වාසයෙන් ඉන්නේ මේක ඉක්මනින් ලැබෙයි කියලා. ඒ විශ්වාසය එහෙම තියාගෙන අපි ඉක්මනට අපේ ඇමතිවරුයි ජනාධිපතිතුමයි අගමැතිතුමයි ඔක්කොම උත්සාහ කරන්නේ ඒක තමයි කරන්න කොහොමයි.
Now in local news, the delivering of the verdict in the case against MP Vimal Veeravansa's wife Shashi Veeravansa with regard to a fake passport has been postponed to the 6th of May. The case was taken up before Colombo Additional Magistrate Chandimali Nagay today. The verdict was initially scheduled to be delivered today. More details of the story will come your way on our primetime bulletin at 9 tonight. Moving on, now yet another community services project carried out by Gammadda was held in Kumbhadigana, Sella Khatragama today. Newsfirst Ruhaza Irfan joins us from Sella Khatragama.
I am in the Kumbhadigana village in Sella Khatragama. Now about 500 families reside in this village and their main mode of income is agriculture. These villagers say that they do not have access to clean drinking water. They also allege that wild elephants encroach their village at night and to go and find clean drinking water is a very risky task. Today Gammadda laid the foundation stone of a clean drinking water purification project. Now this project is done together with the technical support of Sri Lanka Navy. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ruhaza Irfan, reporting to you from Sella Khatragama.
Now in news coming in from the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky denied Russia's accusation that Ukraine is preparing to fight back with chemical or biological weapons, and he said the accusation itself was a bad sign.
Мы адекватные люди. Я президент адекватной страны.
We are reasonable people. I am the president of a reasonable country and reasonable people. No chemical or any other weapon of mass destruction has been developed in our land. The whole world knows this. You know this. And if you do something of this sort against us, you will receive the most severe sanction response.
Вы получите жесточайший санкционный ответ.
The message follows Moscow's claims that they had discovered evidence of the United States providing financial support for Ukrainian military biological programs. The UN Security Council scheduled a meeting today at Russia's request to discuss its claims vehemently denied by the Biden administration. Satellite images of a Russian convoy near Kyiv appear to show forces redeployed to nearby areas, potentially signaling a renewed push towards the Ukrainian capital. According to Maxar Technologies, elements of the convoy, which was last seen northwest of nearby Antonov Airport, have moved into positions in surrounding towns. Maxar said that images also show other parts of the convoy to the north have positioned themselves near Lubyanka and set up artillery positions nearby. Earlier yesterday, a senior US defense official said that the Russian forces have moved 3 miles closer to Kyiv in the past 24 hours.
Now in news from neighbouring India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hindu Nationalist Party held a commanding lead in India's most populous state as votes were counted. This was despite criticism of his government's handling of the pandemic, soaring unemployment and farmer protests.
Data from the Election Commission showed the Bharatiya Janata Party comfortably ahead as a crucial test for Modi's popularity before national elections in 2024. The BJP scored impressive victories in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa and Manipur today, while the Aam Aadmi Party registered a record debut victory in Punjab. The results, particularly in Uttar Pradesh, are seen as a referendum on Modi's popularity and a resounding endorsement of his party's Hindu-first politics. They will also dent the hopes of opposition parties that are banking on forming a united front to challenge Modi in the next general election.
Taking a look back at a headline story that we told you before on the bulletin. Now, the delivering of the verdict in the case against MP Vimal Veeravansa's wife Shashi Veeravansa with regard to a fake passport has been postponed to the 6th of May. The case was taken up before Colombo Additional Magistrate Chandima Liyanage today. The verdict was initially scheduled to be delivered today. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For details of the stories and much more, you can log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. Thank you for watching. A very good day to you and take care.